A march for justice ended in looting. What was meant to be a peaceful protest became a scene of tension, broken glass, and fear in the streets. On July 4th in Mexico City, a protest in Parque México aimed to raise awareness about gentrification, but everything got out of control. Neighbors and community groups gathered with peaceful intentions. They wanted to highlight a real problem: how neighborhoods are changing, and how many families end up displaced. As they marched through the Roma district, the atmosphere grew tense. There were shouts, pushing, and suddenly, disorder. Businesses like Rip and Dip were vandalized. Everything was torn apart. The protest lost its direction and turned into something very different. Among the crowd was Luisito Comunica. He had come to document the event, but ended up caught in the conflict. Some protesters confronted him. They accused him of representing what they were supposedly fighting against, and the situation kept escalating. Later, in a video, Luisito expressed his frustration. You could see he was shaken by what he had witnessed.
The protest got out of control, he said. It was supposed to be about gentrification, but it turned into an attack on entrepreneurs, on foreigners, on people who aren't even to blame.
And the truth is, protests often start from legitimate causes, but if they're not channeled well, they can spin out of control.
This wasn't a protest, he said. It was looting disguised as activism. That message sparked a lot of conversation.
Luisito also spoke about the impact on entrepreneurs. People who work hard every day to keep their business alive and suddenly lose everything.
Imagine all your effort, everything you sell, gone overnight, he said. And yes, it was devastating for many.
Things escalated even more when a woman came up and yelled at him, accusing him of not supporting Mexicans. She claimed he was defending those who hurt local people, but her argument had a curious detail. Luisito calmly pointed out a clear contradiction. The woman was carrying a Bimba and Lola bag, a foreign brand.
And he replied, supporting Mexican businesses is important, but with that bag, you're contradicting what you're saying.
Despite the moment, he called for respect. He asked his followers not to attack the woman. He wasn't looking for more confrontation.
His message was different. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding what's happening and finding real solutions. Because yes, gentrification transforms neighborhoods, raises housing costs, and leaves behind those who have lived there their entire lives. But destroying businesses solves nothing. Neither does insulting or dividing. We need a better way to do things. Protests should be spaces to build proposals, not to harm or spread more anger. And that's achieved through dialogue, community, and empathy, not through attacks. Protests have power, but that power can be used to unite or to destroy. It all depends on how it's directed. Gentrification is a complex issue, and it requires awareness, local organizing, and mutual respect. It's also the government's responsibility to offer dignified housing, prevent real estate speculation, and protect residents. What do you think? Do these protests help, or do they just make the problem worse? Days later, the topic was still being talked about. Influencer and critic Diego Ruzarin also spoke out, but his comments sparked even more debate. He harshly criticized Luisito, accusing him of not understanding the root of the problem, but many felt his stance was more of a personal attack than a real contribution to the discussion. The truth is, beyond ideological views, what Luisito experienced was real. He was there, in the middle of the chaos, watching how what should have been a social movement turned into aggression and destruction. And honestly, anyone would have spoken up. Thanks for watching. Protesting for justice should never mean attacking those who also work hard. Like, comment, and subscribe, it would really help me out.